February 2022 as a national protest to get the president to assent to the bill. Now, the bill has gone through a whole lot of process, like you have heard in that report, the provisions that the bill offers. And the thing is, why the protest? We have been able to get on call with the chairman, Civil Society Organization, Akwa Ibom State Chapter, and he'll be sharing his thought with us real quick. And as we speak, he's watching us. And I'll quickly like to ask Mr. Harry, okay, about the protest. What is the true situation on ground at the moment?
The situation on ground is that civil society organizations across the country are appalled at the dilly-dallying of the president and his foot dragging in signing this bill. He complained about the so-called obnoxious clause. The National Assembly has reworked it to suit his taste beyond the clause of primaries. I think there are very germane clauses in that amendment bill that seeks to ensure that the will and intent of the people count. And so we are shocked, and this would be the sixth time that the president would turn down the signing of electoral reform. For someone who contested elections severally, until he won, and because somebody worked on the electoral reform that ensured that the will and intent of the people counted, and he became president. And since he's been president, this will be the sixth time that he will be turning down an electoral reform. And so we are quite shocked. For one who's been a beneficiary of election reforms, refusing to put in place, fundamental reforms that will ensure that the will and intent of the people count. Because this is what will ensure good governance, put away corruption, and ensure that things run smoothly within the country when power is returned to the people. That bill seeks to return power to the people and forestall the elite capture of our politics in Nigeria.
Well, quite a thing there, but do you feel, considering the fact that the All Progressives Congress, which happens to be the governing party where the president is battling with internal issues ahead of its national congress coming up for this weekend, just barely 5 days away, do you feel this is the right time for the protest?
There is no better time, Tito, for these agitations. There's no better time to have these agitations. Having internal battles within the APC has nothing to do with this. President Muhammadu Buhari is the president of Nigeria. Nigeria has bigger problems than the APC. The APC is just a minute minute and infinitesimally minute.
Well, let me quickly ask you this at this point. Considering there are speculations on one side that some governors under the ruling All Progressive Congress are advising the president not to give assent to this particular bill. Do you feel having a protest can bring about a change of thought at some point?
Tito, it's my considered belief that this protest today will send a clear message, not just to the president, to the world, that Nigerians need change. Nigerians need the right thing to be done. Nigeria needs righteousness as far as the leadership selection process, which is done via elections, the national elections is concerned. We need these things to be done. We don't want a situation where a few people, lesser than 500, would capture the whole nation. We want, the majority indeed to carry the day. We want the vote of the people to count at all times. And these electoral reforms, this amendment bill that the National Assembly has committed to the president for his signature is a very fantastic step in the right direction. So he needs to get that signed. Whether the governors governors of the APC have said what governors of the APC don't own Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to Nigerians. And majority of Nigerians are saying, Mr. President, sign this bill so that when we go to the polls, our voices will be heard. Our votes will count. The ones we want to lead us will become the ones that lead us. If we choose to choose, dumb persons to lead us, we will learn by experience and then go ahead to choose the right persons to lead us. We don't want a few people selecting who should be our leaders. It is not within their rights to do so. It is the right of the citizens to choose who their leaders are. So whether APC governors have said what or not, APC governors would only be considering their interest. The interest of Nigeria should be bigger than any sectional, tiny interest of certain governors. And I don't want to go further to say that the problems of Nigeria remain the governors of this country. The governors of this country have seen themselves as emperors, looking to run roughshod on the people. It's time enough for people and such governors, they will meet their recompense. So whether the governors want the president to sign or not, president has the responsibility to respond to the yearnings and aspirations of the people. And what the CSOs represent is the yearning and aspirations of the people, and we're taking it into the public domain and saying, Mr. President, sign that bill today.
Well, Mr. Harry, as lofty as this sounds, I would like to find out, peradventure, perhaps the president decides to give assent to this particular bill. The time frame with which the implementation and the process before the 2023 general elections, do you think Nigeria has a lot of time to actually implement this bill in this election year?
Like I said earlier, the time is short. The time is quite short. But you see, with that, I'm certain that the INEC, in anticipation, have put in place, measures to ensure that as soon as the president signs the bill, this can be implemented. It will need massive voter education, and I'm sure that they are ready. And I think Nigerians are already aware of this and are ready and aware of the provisions, the clauses of the clauses within the bill, and so we are ready. And all of us, including civil society organizations, will be engaged in the voter education to ensure that people are aware of what rights they have within this amendment bill. The time is short. That's why we are shouting that the president must sign now, but not too short for him not to sign. Let him sign the bill today.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Harry, for sharing your thoughts with us on the program. Yes, it's still Political Spectrum, and just for emphasis, it is the 22nd day since the bill was transmitted to the president. The amended bill was transmitted to the president. That was on the 30th of January 2022. And of course, the president has enough time until 30 days to assent to this bill, where the civil society is saying they cannot wait for 30 days. Time is short and time is of the essence. However that turns out, we look forward to it tomorrow to see the turnout of this protest and how the government, the federal government precisely, will react to this. That has been our show for today. Many thanks for watching. It was nice doing it with you. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of Political Spectrum. My name is Otobasi Tom. Bye for now.